In the bustling heart of Nairobi, amidst the vibrant markets and towering skyscrapers, there stood a quaint apartment complex known as Umoja Towers. It was here, on the 4th floor, that Angela and Jezebel shared an apartment. Their story was one that had begun many years ago, in the dusty playgrounds of their childhood, where they first met and forged an unbreakable bond. Angela was the epitome of grace and kindness. Her laughter was infectious, and her smile could light up the darkest of days. Jezebel, on the other hand, was a fierce protector, with a sharp mind and a heart that beat only for Angela. Their friendship was legendary in their community, and many envied the closeness they shared. As they grew older, their lives became intertwined in ways that neither could have imagined. They attended the same schools, pursued similar interests, and eventually found themselves sharing an apartment in Umoja Towers. It was a comfortable arrangement, one that brought both of them a sense of security and companionship. However, Jezebel harbored a secret. Her feelings for Angela had grown beyond the bounds of friendship. She was infatuated, obsessed even, with the idea of keeping Angela by her side forever. This obsession only deepened when Angela met Douglas. Douglas was a charismatic man with a charming smile and a reputation that preceded him. He was tall, handsome, and had a way with words that could make any woman's heart flutter. Angela was no exception. She fell for him quickly, captivated by his charm and the whirlwind romance he offered. To Angela, Douglas was perfect. To Jezebel, he was a threat. Jezebel's heart ached as she watched Angela and Douglas grow closer. Every smile, every touch, every whisper between them was a dagger to her heart. She knew she had to act. She couldn't lose Angela, not to Douglas, not to anyone. Determined to protect her friend, Jezebel began to dig into Douglas's past. It wasn't long before she uncovered the truth. Douglas was a playboy, a man with a history of broken hearts and fleeting relationships. He was not the man he pretended to be. Armed with this knowledge, Jezebel tried to warn Angela.
Angela, you need to listen to me. Douglas is not who you think he is. He plays with ladies' hearts. He will hurt you.
Angela looked at Jezebel, her eyes filled with disbelief.
Jezebel, you're wrong. Douglas loves me. He's changed. People can change, you know.
Jezebel's heart sank. She could see the resolve in Angela's eyes. Her words were falling on deaf ears. Desperation took hold of Jezebel, and she realized that if she couldn't convince Angela with words, she would have to take matters into her own hands. Jezebel's obsession began to manifest in peculiar ways. She started using the same cologne Douglas wore, hoping the familiar scent would draw Angela closer to her. The fragrance filled their apartment, a constant reminder of Douglas's presence. Angela noticed the change but brushed it off as a coincidence. One evening, as they sat on the couch watching a movie, Jezebel made her move. She leaned in closer to Angela, her heart pounding. The scent of the cologne mingled with the tension in the air. Angela, Jezebel whispered, her voice trembling, I've always been here for you. I care about you so much. Angela turned to look at her, confusion and concern etched on her face. I know, Jezebel. You're my best friend. Jezebel's eyes darkened with desire. No, Angela. It's more than that. Before Angela could react, Jezebel leaned in to kiss her. Angela pulled away, shock and disbelief written across her features. Jezebel, what are you doing? Jezebel's voice was a desperate plea. Angela, I love you. I can't stand to see you with him. I want you to be with me. Angela stood up, shaking her head. Jezebel, this isn't right. You're my friend. I don't feel that way about you. Jezebel's heart shattered, but her obsession only grew. She began to follow Douglas, watching his every move. She became a shadow, always lurking, always watching. She saw him with other women, saw the way he charmed them, just as he had charmed Angela. Her anger grew with each passing day, fueled by the fear of losing Angela. One fateful night, Jezebel's obsession reached its breaking point. She had followed Douglas to a trendy nightclub, where she watched him flirt with yet another woman. The sight of him with someone else, while Angela sat at home believing in his love, was too much to bear. Jezebel knew she had to act, and she had to act now. With a determination born of desperation, Jezebel confronted Douglas in a dimly lit alley behind the club. Her eyes burned with intensity as she stepped out of the shadows. "Douglas," she hissed, "you need to stay away from Angela." Douglas looked at her, a smirk playing on his lips. "Jezebel, right? Angela's protective friend. What are you going to do? You can't stop me." But Jezebel was past the point of reason. She lunged at Douglas, her fury giving her strength. The struggle was brief but intense. In the end, Jezebel stood over Douglas, her breath coming in ragged gasps. She had done it. She had protected Angela. When she returned to the apartment, Angela was waiting. Jezebel's disheveled appearance and the wild look in her eyes alarmed Angela. "Jezebel, what happened?" Angela asked, rushing to her friend's side. Jezebel looked at Angela, her heart breaking. "I did it for you, Angela. I did it to protect you." Angela's eyes widened in horror as the realization dawned on her. "Jezebel, what did you do?" Jezebel's voice was barely a whisper. "I had to. I couldn't lose you." Angela stepped back, tears streaming down her face. "Jezebel, this isn't love. This is madness." The bond that had once been unbreakable was now shattered. Angela could no longer look at Jezebel the same way. The apartment that had been their sanctuary became a place of tension and heartbreak. Angela moved out, leaving Jezebel alone with her obsession and the consequences of her actions. Jezebel watched as Angela walked away, her heart heavy with the weight of what she had done. In her quest to keep Angela close, she had lost her forever. And in the quiet of Umoja Towers, Jezebel was left to confront the darkness of her own heart, a darkness that had cost her everything.